Listen to the following talk.
My mother is involved with a married man who has a wife and children. My mother sacrificed half of her life to raise me and my siblings. Now that her affair has been exposed, how can we show our faces to everyone? I'm 30 years old, originally from a rural area, and I moved to Hanoi for university at the age of 18, where I've built my career. I've just recently started my own family and have a child. My family is living independently in Hanoi. My father passed away 4 years ago due to a serious illness, and my mother and sister still live in our hometown. When my father was alive, my mother worked hard, saving every penny to support me through school, even as I struggled in Hanoi. However, since I was young, I witnessed my mother having 2 affairs. Each time she was caught, my father would beat and threaten her with divorce. Once, he even threatened our entire family with a gun. Out of love for his children, he endured and forgave her. My mother, out of fear, didn't dare to repeat her mistakes after those 2 incidents. Since my father passed, my mother seems to have become a different person. She no longer worries about the family. After work, she dresses up and goes out with her friends. There have been times when she stayed out until midnight, leaving my sister waiting and unable to contact her. During the first 2 years, my sister and I talked about it and concluded that since we all have stable lives now, we should let our mother live the life she wants, as long as she's happy. We thought things would stop there, but one day, my mother brought a man, around my father's age, to Hanoi to visit us. The trip included my aunt and her son's family. The meal was perfectly normal, and my mother introduced the man as a friend from her social circle, saying that since they were heading the same way, my aunt and mother had just hitched a ride with him. After the meal, I grew suspicious and discussed it with my sister, only to learn that this man had a family of his own and that my mother was involved with him. His daughter was actually a classmate of my sister's, and she had contacted my sister several times to get to the bottom of the situation. The tipping point came the night my mother visited us in Hanoi. She claimed she would stay overnight at a relative's house, but in reality, she spent the night with him. My sister and I found out and have tried many times to persuade her to stop, as this man has a wife and children. We urged her to end the affair to preserve the family's reputation. However, each time we brought it up, my mother would cry for days, refuse to speak to anyone, and claim to be sick, heartbroken, sometimes going without food or conversation for several days. We feel torn, both wanting to protect our mother and safeguard the family's dignity. I have shouted at her, scolded her, and caused many arguments, but my mother's response was, "I don't care what people think. I'm single now, and if you push me, I'll have no choice but to do something drastic. I've got nothing left to lose." Honestly, my sister and I don't know what to do or how to continue living like this. I would appreciate any advice from you.
This content is just an example for learning English. Thank you for watching. How do you feel about this video? Please leave a comment below.